Vici is going greedy. So I think Ehome wants to have a good start, get their levels, and get the team fight rolling.
You agree with that, Sheeper?
Definitely comfort draft also, I think, for Ehome. I think they're pretty happy with that Phoenix pick. They won with it, of course, yesterday or 2 days ago. And I think they're pretty happy with dealing with Vici's lineup because they want to fight. I can't wait for them to go fight.
I'm looking to see some fireworks as well. We'll see if the casters agree with us. As the game gets started, let's throw it over to our two handsome casters now. It's going to be LD and Gods. Gentlemen, take it away. We're just getting started.
I think
huge winner bracket match, and with that, Ehome taking on Vici Gaming. These teams, they certainly know each other well.
Oh yeah, they versed each other, I think once recently in some of the online matches, but this is the first time in a while they're playing on a big stage, and right off the bat, Vici Gaming catch out 11 here in the off lane. Doesn't look like he'll secure a kill, but a lot of damage being dealt.
He's going for it, he's got the Scorched Earth, 11 in all kinds of trouble! Sounding up, he barely survived, but FY commits for it! No, juked, 11! Trying to cut him off at the pass, FY very low, they get the kill, but they're in pretty deep now. Vici Gaming grabbing a first blood, but do they pay on the way out? Kaka does have the Icarus dive available, sweeps his way forward, does get that additional damage on FY, but now the Blade Fury! Burning's gonna turn! Vici Gaming going full aggression here! The second kill will be grabbed, and on top of that, they managed to grab a bounty rune for their Shadow Feed. Hell of a start here with the double forces. Mr. Ice, the Troll Lord himself, is diving Lanham. It's going to be 3 separate kills, possibly. Lanham in a lot of trouble. Continuing to chase. No, there is a Slardar in support. And it seems that will be enough to end the madness. Okay, can we have a Dota game now?
What's happening, LD? This is insane! Right from the get-go, Vici Gaming getting aggressive, and with a lineup that is meant to be kind of greedy, a jungle support FY Doom, but not playing it in the standard greedy way.
There's your Mango Madness as Burning goes in again on 11. It's another kill for Vici Gaming! Where was this Vici Gaming in the group stage? They make it look easy. Oh my. 3-0 Gods. Oh yeah, there's heroes farming mid, by the way. There's Queen of Pain, Shadow Fiend, 1v1. Oh, forget about that. It's Kaka now getting harassed. FY, we talked about a jungle Doom. This is a tri-lane Doom that's making it work.
That's just how good the new Doom is, I guess. And with that said, this is still a level 1 Doom. He did not get changed at level 1, level 2. It was just the leveled up Scorched Earth, which got mega buffs, but so far, very aggressive coming out from FY. It looks like now that he's level 2, he just wanted to get the Devour up, he will rotate back into the jungle.
It is obviously a bit of a sacrifice getting the Scorched Earth. Worth it for the first blood, does delay your jungle game a little bit, so he kind of had to leech that additional experience top lane, but FY now does crack level 2, looking for the right creep to eat. What's he got here? Nothing too good. Get some experience perhaps off of this Dark Troll Summoner. They're slowing down Kaka, Burning, has the Blade Fury ready. Alright Gods, now that the lanes have settled down, obviously this looks pretty damn bad for Ehome. It's already something Winter talked about in the pregame analysis. Vici Gaming, bit greedy on the draft with the Jungle Doom, actually quite greedy. How do you bounce back from this? How worried are you right now if you're Ehome?
I'm pretty worried if I'm Ehome, just because they haven't got any ability to pressure the Jungle Doom. A support Phoenix is just kind of looking to be a lane dominator, but you've already lost your lane. And Burning is going to be just free farming away at top.
11's going to be forced back a bit here. Kaka will retreat out again. They're running a dual lane, but doesn't really seem to be putting any pressure on Burning. In fact, Burning's going putting pressure on 11. He's just going to dive it. And again, Burning's full aggression. He doesn't finish 11 off, though. He might get played here. Sweeping forward with the Icarus dive. Burning surviving for now, but will eventually go down. And 11 also going to live. The Doom illusion in there. Can't quite find 11, it seems. Hello. Hello. Poison touch. Now they got him. One more auto attack should do it. Not sure if he takes down otherwise. The Scorched Earth, Vici Gaming continuing to dive the top lane. Even more pressure on Ehome. A dual lane, a Phoenix Clock. You're expecting to have a strong lane. This is anything but.
Burning going down there does make that trade not quite worthwhile for Vici Gaming, but it's a dual lane for Ehome where Clockwork's a very level-dependent hero, so even Ehome getting that 1-for-1 trade, Clock goes down, he's 0-3, still just level 2. This is a hero that needs to get that fast level 6 to come online, and I don't really feel like Ehome is shutting down Burning's farm or giving the Clock the levels he needs.
They are doing well in the other two lanes, though. As you'd expect, Queen of Pain having a really good time mid. Control Chicken dominating Super pretty hard now, 19-8. And it is a dire Shadow Fiend because of the Jungle Doom. We aren't seeing any stacks now. So they're winning mid gods. They are farming their Slardar safe lane, but they're not really stopping Mr. Ice 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 either from getting his levels. So is this enough? Are you getting enough out of the Slardar Quap so far?
Not right now, but they're heroes that come online in the mid-game. Slardar doesn't have to be necessarily a blink timing, although it can be if CTY wants to rush it. Similarly with the Queen of Pain, you hit level 6 and then you have that TP rotation, which could most likely head towards top lane. Vici Gaming have to be very wary of Old Chicken getting active on the map. He's even gone for an early game build, getting 2 null talismans, so showing he wants to not only dominate the lane, but dominate the kind of early to mid game and be the tempo controller.
Lanham is going to make the long journey top. Seems Ehome have decided time to run a tri-lane of their own. As he hides in the trees, probably going to try to bait in the dive and then look for the counterplay here. It has been very aggressive for Vici, so perhaps this is the answer.
I don't really feel like it's the best answer though, because if Vici Gaming realize there's 3 heroes top, they just won't play aggressively. They'll use their pulls, they'll just deny experience away from a Clockwork who's already forced to leech with 2 supports. So for Ehome, it's very much like they feel Slardar can lane just fine against the bottom lane Beastmaster, but they're trying to predict a Vici Gaming dive at top, which Vici Gaming just not doing.
Finally, things have settled down a bit. The Ancient Apparition still not finding an opening, and they do have that Queen of Pain TP. Old Chicken, though, he pops the Invisor and looks like he wants to catch Super or maybe farm his jungle. We'll have a pause here from Lanham. Things actually have settled down now. Ehome are gonna have a breather, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Jeez, what a start.
It doesn't get any better than that, so. Where do we go from here, LD?
I guess it depends on your point of view.
I mean, these lanes, one of them a complete catastrophe. The mid lane is looking really solid right now with Shadow Fiend already getting pushed back out of the lane, forced to Bottle Crow. He's stacked up his big camp once, but it does feel like the 2 solo lanes for Ehome are in pretty good shape. Ice 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 though, the fact he's getting levels means once he hits level 6, similar to Queen of Pain, can rotate around, find those openings, get some kills. And I think for him, the hero he's going to be gunning for is going to be that mid lane Queen of Pain. A Raw with a double, triple raise, dead quap. And it's very easy to rotate through the Radiant jungle and then catch the Queen of Pain by surprise.
Teams are ready to resume here. Looks like we should be getting back underway now. 4-1 the score. Vici Gaming, in terms of golden experience, not really that far ahead. Not as bad as the 4-1 kill line would suggest, but considering they're running the Jungle Doom, has to be a concern. We will see Old Chicken trying to hunt the Shadow Fiend. He's sort of poking up towards the high ground. Alright, he decides, I'm going to forget about the creeps. I want to find this nasty jungle man, but Shadow Fiend not there, gods. He's actually back mid, and they even have rotated Lanham around, still hunting. And you get an Observer Ward down, so now they can track the Shadow Fiend when he rotates back to the woods. And amp damage comes out on the boar. CTY has officially hit level 6, and definitely a different kind of hero for CTY. That's been one of the adjustments we've seen with Ehome, with the addition of mid lane. They are going in now, jumping on the Super. They found him, and they got him. Super gets assassinated. Ehome, they strike back in a big way. Probably something the club could have done solo, but they'll get a little help and some levels for the AA as well.
Yeah, they were waiting so patiently on that high ground hill, knowing that SF can't rotate into his own jungle, and if he's just hugging his tower, he's not going to be getting any farm, so Old Chicken timing that initiation very nicely.
They can also keep tabs on the Doom now with that ward, potentially. Could be very useful. Burning, working on 11, he gets up those few extra auto attacks and then commits to the Blade Fury. Should be able to get the kill. The cogs are there, though. Maybe they can counterplay this Burning. In a lot of danger now as he gets caught. He will be grazed. Kept alive for the moment, held in place by Cold Feet. They swoop forward, figuring Burning's dead. Can we get more Conton? Looking for additional heroes. Old Chicken's rotated in. They're going to die Fenrir, blasting him down with the Sundra, and then a little bit of Icy on top as Lanham will help finish the kill. And while that was all happening, the Radiant Courier
Side mid.
oh no, that's the Dire Courier. Alright, Radiant Courier just kind of ran into Super, it looks like.
The miss micro coming with the curve, but the top lane, some great Phoenix play there. Waiting for the Blade Fury to end, catches him in the cogs as well, and that was actually, in some ways, an amazing bait out of the Clockwork. Yeah, he dies, but he makes sure he gets the cog trap before he dies, and Kaka locks him inside the cogs. He can't attack his way out when he's being slowed by the Fire Spirits, and Ehome capitalize on the Vici Gaming over-aggression here in this top lane.
They're getting close to Burning's level 6 now. Looks like he wants to leech at bottom and then go for a kill. He's one creep away. They're committing for it. They're just going to use the Blade Fury here. CTY has the sprint, but won't be able to disengage in time. Burning, making those aggressive moves as Vici Gaming Look to break down the laning stage nice and early. Still Super playing a bit of catch-up mid here. And in terms of farm, he's still doing well, all things considered. Sitting at 32 CS even with the Quap. That is, of course, the result of all the rotations that Old Chicken has had to make here early on.
Yeah. I like that Ehome now send the Clockwork mid for a little bit just to secure him as level 6. This top lane seems to be where most of the action's going to be as far as 4, 5, 6 heroes being up there. And Clockwork for now wants to get that timely level 6 so we can join the fray.
TPing one down bottom, CTY looks to turn things around. They do have a rocket flying in. Still no Ice Blast though. Landham only level 4. But they've got 2 wards up in the Dire jungle now, Gods, and it seems like this is part of how Ehome... Cog's out, but it pushes Super away from Old Chicken's clutches. It seems like this is how they want to try to slow down the greed of Vici Gaming. Get wards in the jungle, see when they're going to farm, either punish it by ganking the lanes, or maybe even go in and try and contest that jungling.
Yeah, and I feel like Ehome are actually in a stronger position right now. Vici Gaming going for this kind of greedy-oriented Doom is looking for a kill towards top lane, but Kaka holding on to the dive very closely. FY, very farm. 103 Arcane Boots, 1200 gold. But Ehome just had this lineup which is really good at fighting once Clockwork hits level 6. And you put an AA Ice Blast into the picture as well. I don't feel like Vici Gaming will be... Well, I think Vici Gaming will be forced to play like a more slow-paced, passive farming style of play at that point in time.
And that's where the Hawk can really come into play. You've got Ice, 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 a great hero to give vision with the Hawk, as well as the Boar, in fact. And control the runes, try and anticipate some Ehome ganks, possibly dodge them, and counter gank as well with the Roar. So to me, I feel like Ice, Ice, Ice is probably their most important hero over the next 5 to 8 minutes or so, just to blunt that incoming aggression.
Yeah, I totally agree, and we'll see where he heads next. He's going to head back to base to heal up, and this is often where you'd see Beastmaster probably call like one teammate to go for a smoke gank. I don't think Vici Gaming have chewed through any of their smokes yet, and it's kind of a good time to use it just to get a single kill with a Roar or an Omni Slash, and just slow down Ehome's timing, which is coming very, very soon.
Super did back out of his jungle. I believe he barely scouted the Queen of Pain, stalking him in. Has the DD rune though. Fairly durable. Radiant Courier now back. And we'll be delivering a set of Tranquil Boots, perhaps? Yeah, for the Clockwork here.
Yeah, so Ice, Ice, Ice does have the smoke and actually gets a TP from the Doom towards bottom, so it looks like these two want to smoke up together.
FY, I mean, you mentioned these farm gods. Mech is coming very soon. This frees up Ice, Ice, Ice to go for the early Necro Book, it appears. Build we've seen a lot of out of Fado when he's been playing the Beastmaster, though. I guess he's played it a bit less lately with Razor Madness. I see more of that later today in the first elimination game. But for now, Ice, Ice, Ice moving into position. Ehome hugging the tower, playing it safe. Landham desperately trying to get that level 6. Ehome poised to strike. They're going to axe to clear out the trees. Cute way to initiate. They get off the Omni Slash on the CTY. Now the Blaze Fury coming through. They stun him during the time. They even doom CTY just to secure the kill. That's a heavy commitment for a Slardar only. Will it be punished? The egg comes out in the middle of a couple of Vici Gaming heroes, but they're slowed down by the Fire Spirits. They just can't get it killed. And now the Quapple. Kaka setting up the team fight. Queen of Pain following up with Super. His Grave kept alive, trying to immolate everyone. Brains now one, turns the gun on the Fenrir, pops to the ancient aboriginal. 4 dead, the lone survivor.
Poison.
A lonely
He's
Super
taking low.
just has the stick. Oh my, that was a masterful Phoenix
Who
play
is
by
this
Kaka.
Phoenix player? That was absolutely nuts. He went right into 3 heroes and didn't have a fear in the world. Those Fire Spirits just demolishing Vici Gaming, and that was a hell of a team fight.
My goodness. How often do you see an egg in the middle of 3 heroes, a level 1 egg, and it doesn't get killed?
And there was no support for it. It wasn't like Ehome came in with like a Blink Crush or a Clockwork Hookshot. It was just 3 heroes who had no... He hit all of them with the Fire Spirits. Not a single one of them were able to right-click the egg down more than once, and... Well, Vici Gaming lose a big, important clash there at the bottom lane.
By the way, there's a rocket here. Super, he's probably going to expect it's coming, but you never know.
Take another look at this fight, man. This egg was
that egg
a
just
thing
won
of
him the
beauty.
fight. He got the Fire Spirits off on
All 3
heroes, and Ice, Ice, Ice turned to Roar. Just couldn't stop the egg from getting off at that point.
Yeah. Well, we're back in the game. It looks like things have unpaused now.
Okay, Super didn't die. That's the most important thing here. He does make it home for Vici, but... Well, it's what we talked about. Ehome, yeah, Vici Gaming have this very scary late game line of gods, possibly a quad core if they all get formed, but they need time to do it. Ehome, with proper execution, have a disgustingly strong team fight, and we saw it there.
And they're doing this without like a blink initiation from CTY, and I think that's one of the really strong points of their lineup is they don't have to hit a fast blink timing on the Slider because they've got Clockwork. By getting a fast level 6 on Clock, it means they can initiate using Clockwork, follow up with a Phoenix Dive Supernova as we just saw, and CTY can be either the frontliner who just kind of baits, tanks a Doom, and then he dies for a team wipe, like that's fine. And alternatively, it buys time for him to get towards the Blink Dagger because his teammates are so strong and so good at fighting, so it's not like they've got to play passively while they await for the blink.
And the last thing to point out about that fight, I think, is the Ehome are on the smoke here, is that they committed so much for that kill. They used an Omni Slash, they tossed the Doom out on like 100 HP Slider just to ensure that he didn't turn the fight around, but it meant they had very little left to take the fight from there, so hookshot. I've been thinking about it.
He finds FY. Here you go. Ice Blast coming through. FY, no Scorched Earth heal for you, my friend. If he held in place, he tries to see the creep, get a little value. But that value will be sent back into the well. Another good takedown is Ehome. Just up the tempo of this game. They want to play fast, gods, and they do not want to let Vici farm.
They haven't been able to take down any towers or real objectives just yet, but the two team fights, well, the team fight and then that pickoff there in a row should lead to a top tier 1 tower. We've got Supernova back up, Clockwork Hookshot, not the fastest of cooldowns, but pretty good at level 1, so they can kind of take a fight, and if it lasts long enough, we will see that hook come back up in about 30 seconds. So
what can Vici do at this point? It seems like they're trying to spread the map here, hiding burning top lane, split pushing with Ice Ice Ice. Do you think this is the best approach? Should they just be dodging fights? And at what point maybe can they look to take those fights?
I think going for the kind of smoke play we just saw with like the Beastmaster and the Doom smoking up together is the right move to make. You just want to avoid those fights happening or those pickoffs happening around towers. That was really their downfall there. There was a tier 1 tower and they didn't get the fast pickoff. They had to chop through the trees with axes, chase the Slider into the trees underneath the tower. If they get the roar right away, you kill them and you can back off and reposition. They just didn't get a clean jump there, and I feel like that was a good strategic move from Vici Gaming, just poorly executed.
Yeah, and it was just a little bit off. Ice 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 maybe like 200 range short there.
Yeah.
It was clever trying to axe through those trees.
And hats off to CTY. He was positioned such that the only way that smoke gank was going to get him was going through the tree line there, and he was right by the tower. So he was in a position where, hey, if they smoke gank him, yeah, he dies, but the turnaround potential is always there.
Well, Devour definitely showing its impact in this game. Vici Gaming still managing to keep it very even in terms of farm. Uh-oh. Hello, Lanham. What are you doing, buddy? No. FY doesn't really want to go on that. Worried about the TP rotations. I think they're maybe a little burnt from the last fight. So they're going to opt to play it safe. We are seeing Kaka save up. Looks like a probable Midas now for your Phoenix. A moment of respite. Ehome now working towards possibly the mech here on 11. Lanham also getting a headdress, so maybe he's the mech builder. Hard to say what they're angling for right now. I guess it could be the Blade Mail and the Clockwork, more likely.
Yeah, a bit of a odd choice for Clockwork to have the Ring of Regen since he already has Tranquils if he's not going mech, but maybe a bit of miscommunication. Either way, Ehome still in a pretty good position. An Invis Slider will scout out most of the Vici Gaming lineup here at bottom, although I think they may have seen the TP and could be fishy of this.
No detection whatsoever right now. Vici Gaming being stalked by the fish. Moves into position, and then he pounces on the Beastmaster. Ice Blast comes through, hook in the butt as well. Down he goes, and Vici Gaming forced to run away.
Some tasty Necropop gold as well for Ehome to pick up.
Hello, hello.
So Kaka farms up his Midas, and they're giving a lot of space to the support Phoenix God. Something that some teams are really good about prioritizing, giving those supports extra time in the lane. Others not so much, but yeah, they're going to be able to reap the benefits here soon, as Kaka will have a very quick level 11.
It seems both Ehome and Vici love to give a ton of support, a ton of farm to their 4-position support, in the case of Kaka as well as FY. We saw FY even do this on heroes like Winter Wyvern.
Oh, Kaka, Midas, he's 40 gold short of the Gloves of Haste. A terrible time to die. Will he be able to get out of here? FY does have the Alpha Wolf creep, a little extra damage. The Doom should be enough. Gets the kill. And Midas is delayed.
This is a Blink Slider TPing in.
But they have a ward here. I think they've scouted the rotation, but is it going to be in time to back off? FY Scorched Earth. No, Shadow Strike. Looks like he wants to wait for the Slaughter to get in position, but now they've chased pretty far, and they are reevaluating whether a dive is in order, deciding not the case. We'll just have to cut our losses here. And they also do reveal the Blink now.
Yeah. So Vici Gaming very much playing a more defensive farm game, trying to use the Devour gold to their advantage. They've got Beastmaster just sitting in the bottom lane. securing his own farm consistently and keeping pressure down there. So if Ehome are off looking for ganks, yeah, Isis may be an easy pickoff for them, but that means if they're ganking him, the Doom, SF, as well as Jug are all farming on the top side of the map. So Ehome are kind of got to make big decisions here as to whether they gank the Beastmaster or go for the more important core heroes like the Doom, like the Jug, like the Shadow Fiend.
Ehome pinning out the Hawk, perhaps thinking that Vici will have an unwarranted sense of security because they didn't see the smoke gang coming, and Super will get jumped right onto the Shadow Fiend off the bat. Tries to get the Requiem off, not gonna happen. Lanham shuts him down, and it will be Lanham getting the mech in the end. So looks like Clockwork, not bad. Now back to the Force Staff, casual chainmail. Okay.
I think Force Staff a fantastic item on Clock, and maybe too many Clocks are in the mindset like you've got to just go Blade Mail before the Force Staff, when Force Staff as a positioning tool is absolutely incredible. You can help maybe a target out who gets roared by pushing them away while they're stunned. Just help out against a lot of these kind of annoying Vici gaming heroes to run away from a Doom, and it's just going to give Ehome a much stronger 5-man, a much better team fight than the Blade Mail, which is kind of a more selfish item, you could say.
Let's talk next steps here for Ehome. They seem to be the team that's kind of driving the tempo, even if the game's almost got ice. But while that was happening, they managed to assassinate Kaka top lane. Doesn't look like he bought the Midas in time either, Gods. Another death.
Yikes.
I think he had the gold, but may have just gotten ambushed by an Omni Slash before he could get it off.
Yeah, he put the dive on cooldown just to farm some creeps, and then Jug punishes him for it.
That's pretty costly. That delays the Midas by like 4 minutes now.
Feels like Ehome's next big step is going to be to team fight around the level 2 Phoenix ultimate. It gets a lot stronger with that level 2, from 5 to 8 hits to destroy it, not to mention the increased damage per second, and that's where Ehome, I think, will probably be reaching their next kind of peak. And at the same time, they will have a Force Staff on Clockwork around then as well, so I think they'll get a few key items at the same time, and that's probably when we'll see a smoke rotation where they try and take a fight, catch Vici Gaming by surprise, and if they win it, they can go into Roshan. They've got Slaughter, they've got the amp damage, so there is some good Rosh taking potential for both teams this game.
Midas is starting to ramp up. It also looks like we may be seeing a Battle Fury here for Burning on the Juggernaut. This is quickly turning into a game of American Dota with all the gold-related items and pickups the teams are looking for.
And Ice is positioned very aggressively here at the top lane. Hasn't been scouted yet by any wards coming in, but he's really playing that kind of space creator role where he's just looking to get as much scouting information as possible, try and keep tabs of where Ehome are on the map. And he puts himself in these positions where he's... Honestly, this spot where he's in right now is pretty dubious. He's perfectly fine now, they're nowhere near him, but he's completely isolated.
Hey, Fenrir, how's it going?
Yeah.
You want to take a load off? Alright, go back to the well. Ehome grabbed the quick kill. They don't have a creep wave here yet. In fact, it's all the way at their tower. Could try to backdoor the tier 1, but meanwhile, Vici Gaming still finding their openings, guys. They're going to raise down the wave top. The Ice Blast will be dodged, and the Necro Army... Oh, Ice walks into it. He is Ice after all. He enjoys things a little frostier. Burning in a TP home. And they will get the tower in the end. So, still despite the kills, it feels like Vici Gaming doing a good job at getting their own objectives off of the map.
Yeah, they're just splitting up and being more efficient everywhere. Roar comes on the courier. Easy.
Sad times. And that is the buckler as well. This will be delaying the mech by a couple of minutes, Gods. Actually a fairly substantial grab there.
Wow.
Do Ehome still have the confidence to go into the Roche Pit? Looks like they do. They still have the double damage on Old Chicken.
Yeah, I think that's why they have the confidence too, that they can bring it down fast enough. Vici Gaming would have to rotate right now. They've just got their Battle Fury and BKB on Shadow Fiend, so it's a good time to go for this Roche contest. Hawk coming in will scout it, but it looks like it will be a little too late.
Unfortunately, Roar's on cooldown. Roar was used for the courier, not available for the big old Roche fight. But there is going to be one. 11 jumping in off the bat. Is going to find Ice. The Requiem gets channeled. They will stun, control, and finish off a Beastmaster who had little to quaffles there. Well, very well placed. But Super, the man in the middle, just turns and delivers. As FY is going to chase down Lanham, will also delete the H apparition. They're still winning the fight even without the Roar. Can they finish off CTY? Not just yet. Old Chicken forced to jump and run away. Did end up losing his Aegis there, so Ehome not having the best fight.
Yeah, making sure they bring down the Phoenix first on the side of Vici Gaming, proving key to kind of crippling the Ehome teamfight there. And they also broke the Aegis of Old Chicken, so not only a favorable exchange in terms of the two-for-one kills, but the Aegis immediately deleted, making Vici Gaming able to just kind of 5-man take down towers. And I think Ehome were not ready to take a team fight into the SFBKB. They probably hadn't scouted it when 11 went for that hookshot initiation.
All right. I think we need to have an intervention here with the teams. We're going to see another Midas coming out. I see why we can match your greed. You have Devour, you have a Battle Fury to Midas. That's okay. We'll just grab another as well. So
Midas count at 2 on the Radiant side.
Yeah, and wouldn't be surprised if it rises. So who do you favor? Since it seems like this is quite possibly going to be a longer game with the way the teams are itemizing. Oh, FY. Hook shots there. They do find him. They wrangle in the Doom. Ice Blast as well. Beautiful grab by 11, who continues to deliver here on the Clockwork. And he needs to. Well,
that was...
Don't bite Ice.
Kills
He'll
don't
smack
get much
you back.
more free than that.
Need to get off the M damage, though. There's no reinforcements. Ice's turn to stick around and get overly aggressive. He'll be punished. 1 for 1 there, and then 2 for 1 while counting the Doom.
Pain, though, the most farm Radiant hero, and that's where him dying there is actually a pretty big pickup for Vici Gaming. That was Queen of Pain, who actually only had 1 kill, but was involved in with 8 assists as well.
Kind of hurts, to be honest, as a Queen of Pain.
We would have seen, like, this was still a 16-minute Orchid, and that was with only getting assists throughout the early to mid game. And I'd say if Queen of Pain was actually getting the last hits, you'd be looking at Quap seeing about 10k net worth up there with the SF.
So back on the topic of late game, since there's some skirmishes, but nobody's really threatening huge objectives. There's still a tier 1 up bottom lane for the Dire. High ground has not been threatened at all by either team. Who are you favoring here going late? Is it an even game? Is it going to come down to execution? Does one team just have the flat-out advantage if they're very farmed later on?
I think Vici Gaming, right now they've kept up and actually been out-farming Ehome. They've gone for the greedier draft and haven't been punished by it, and Ehome don't kind of take map control and start really applying pressure soon. Vici Gaming have the far better late game with Doom, Shadow Fiend, Jug, as well as the Beastmaster Roar on their side. Dazzle also fantastic with Weave.
Oh, Ice, he gets up onto the high ground, he roars CTY, and then Super comes in, look for the spear, oh no! He gets interrupted for now, trying to run away, lets the Requiem fly, but it's not quite as devastating as it should have been. Now Old Chicken leaps in, he'll connect onto it with the ultimate, well placed there, but now forced to retreat. The Doom hunts down Kaka, again, no egg! FY just making the Phoenix a non-factor. He had the one amazing fight bottom gods. We've seen nothing from him since.
Yeah, it's been very hard for him to play. He's been the sole Doom target, it seems, in these fights, and FY, not really you can't, normally when you see a core Doom, especially the safe lane Doom, you make him your #1 priority. If you can initiate it on him, get him with a Blink Crush, get him with a Quap Orchid, you focus him down before he uses a single spell, but you've got too many core heroes to worry about. There's a Shadow Fiend as well as a Jug, who will just take over a fight if you ignore them. So Vici Gaming are instead focusing getting most of the attention onto their core heroes, and FY just blinks past, ignores everyone apart from the Phoenix, and makes sure that there's no supernova fight after fight. FY's been on point with his Doom play.
How do you stop that?
It's hard because Clockwork has to hook the SF there or you instantly lose your Slider. For Ehome, they've got to be the ones getting the jump. So that fight, there was the Roar to start things off on the Slider. It forced a defensive hook shot, whereas if Ehome are the ones jumping in, it means they don't have to use their spells defensively. They don't want to have to use this hook shot to save a teammate. They don't want to have to use the Crush in a defensive manner to cover retreat. Same for the Orchid. They want to use them when they're going in the aggressive. They need to be smoking up, having vision of Vici Gaming, getting the initiation themselves.
That is the power of the Boar and the Hawk, and 11. He'll find one Hawk, or one falls, another will emerge.
And Ehome, I believe, either out of smokes or have just the one smoke left. They're actually completely out of smokes right now, so getting the jump and catching out Vici Gaming when you've got no smokes against Hawk becomes near impossible. Ice has been on point using them to continuously scout out ahead and just protect core heroes.
Oh, this is also the last smoke for a long time for Vici. Kaka dives forward, gets deleted. Ouch.
Yeah, he had no vision of that high ground. He was actually using the dive to scout the high ground.
Speaking of high ground gods, they're going to go for it here. It looks like 5 heroes congregating. They only committed a Roar, and they're probably suspecting there's no buyback with how much this Phoenix has been dying this game. Omni through. CTY is not sprinting, though. Blade Fury now committed as well. Now he begins to sprint, but Super rushes in. They can't finish the job. The Slithering Fish makes it out. Oh, that could be bad, but Super engages, gets up the Requiem on the Old Chicken. They will go. Blink already committed, turns with his dying breath, gets up an ultimate. Now the Ice Blast on the Super looks like he's going to drop as well. Vici have dove far, but they've mostly been rewarded. Off goes the Shadow Fiend. CTY whipping on the crush. And Burning will take the tower. He's Blade Furying a freaking Quap and driving her back. Burning going full aggression. This is the most I've seen Burning dive in years.
And they push so fast with the pack lead, and Ehome will counter-initiate, but
And
it's dangerous.
There's the Doom and old chicken jumping through. Now the egg. Can Kaka be the savior again? He brings down Burning, and that's probably it. Well, Fenrir just barely got stunned on the boundary of it as CTY came in with the crush. They will get the kill. So they salvage it, gods, but it does require a Queen of Pain buyback.
And Vici Gaming doing a pretty good job on the retreat there. The TP out from Doom as well as Beastmaster was just out of the egg range. Doom TP'd immediately, so he wasn't going to get hit by the sun at all. Just the one catch onto Dazzle.
I think he may have actually gotten crushed rather than Phoenix stunned.
Oh, okay.
He's kind of close to that. But either way, they get the kill. They sort of come out on top in terms of net worth. But again, Queen of Pain, the old chicken, the one getting punished here. 3, 2, and 9. He's been very active, had a huge impact, but just hasn't gotten the items.
And going for the ultimate orb, so possibly going to see a Lincoln Sphere. I don't know if that's really the item. He's not the Doom target. He can put it on a teammate, but I feel Old Chicken needs high impact items for himself. He picks up the Ring of Health, so it looks like Lincoln's is on the menu, but he's not going to get Doom. There's Doom as well as Raw, so likely one of those ultimates does get saved for Old Chicken, but most of his deaths have come from when he's blinking in aggressively. And that's really where he's got to be most careful, is with just his overall positioning and where he blinks to.
Ehome feeling like they need a little more off the map. They're finally going to begin to work on this tier 1 bottom. It's just been a fixture here for Vici Gaming. They are rotating, bringing the Juggernaut down. Dazzle close behind him. Does Vici Gaming look for a fight? Tower about to drop. Glyph already expended, and Old Chicken will grab the last hit. While that's going on, an Ice Blast going to connect them. FY just barely clipping him, but he's got the move speed of a Scorched Earth. And he should be absolutely fine.
So Vici Gaming, as far as their next kind of few moves go, it will be probably centered around the Roshan. They have superior map control. If you're Ehome, you're thinking we've got to save and use any smokes we have for that 5-bet.
Oh, Chicken, it's just not been his game as it moves along. He'll die to the spinning blades of Burning. Another kill. Suddenly, up to 2,600 gold. Juggernaut nearly there with his 4-position Doom. Which doesn't sound that impressive, but Doom's got a Midas, so FY is a gold factory.
FY topping a net worth as a support is still pretty impressive. Even I mean, Doom's the only hero that can do
Danger!
that.
11 hooks in, he's got a 4-step the hell away, but the Requiem comes out, and with the boars they're going to work, they may lose the clockwork anyway. Yeah, the Roar secures it. Ice, Ice, Ice punishes the dump. There's just no follow-up here. Ehome trying to get aggressive, but it's just not working, and it's starting to feel like they're just pressing too much. You hook a Shadow Fiend with a BKB, how do you kill him when he pops through? That was always going to be a tough kill.
I thought you were asking me a question there, LD.
That was a rhetorical question.
What's going on here? How do I answer
You don't.
this?
The Shadow Fiend kills you. I think they were hoping to bait out the Requiem and just get out, but he's a little slow on the 4-step there.
Alright, so Roshan will be respawning in the next 2 minutes, or in 2 minutes' time. Team's not quite aware of the exact timings here, and for Ehome, they have been dewarded quite a bit because of the Necro 3. They've got a gem on their side on Lanham, which has allowed them to take out a lot of the Vici Gaming aggressive wards that were on their side of the map.
Of course, with Ice 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 playing the Beastmaster, they've still got vision.
Yep.
Orin Hawk giving them a nice idea of what's going on, and you can see Ehome starting to think a lot about that Roshan. They've sent the rockets, the Ice Blasts, they're just bombarding, really nuking the crap out of that pit, but of course, no ration up yet.
Yeah, they need to save the Ice Blast. Rocket Flare should be enough to continuously scout it. And that's where Vici Gaming will be very patient in going for Roshan. They'll wait to make sure Ehome can't contest it or that they get a pick off first because of all the scouting tools that Ehome have themselves. We talk about Vici Gaming being pretty good with the Hawk, but Rocket Flare, one of the underrated things you can't really measure about Clockwork as a hero and his impact in the late game is the vision you get from this spell.
Yeah, very similar with the Beastmaster.
Yeah. Oh, Ehome just sitting grouped as 5, I think wary of potential for a smoke play coming out of Vici Gaming.
Seems pretty light on the buybacks here if that big Roche fight breaks out. Just the Shadow Fiend and the Clockwork. You do have a BKB on CTY along with the Hyperstone, so Slaughter is the one hero that's getting good farm. The Queen of Pain, I mean, it's not bad by any means, but considering how active and successful he was early, you'd honestly expect him to be a bit higher up in the network charts.
And you'd maybe hope for more farm on the Queen of Pain than the Slaughter. the way we've seen kind of more teams transition to late game, Queen of Pain just less likely to get kited, can actually really turn into a decent late game core hero when you go for like the AC type build. Slider will get the AC for the team, it looks like, but Queen of Pain, you get the Hex, BKB Refresher, and you can offer a lot to your team.
Well, before that, it looks like it will be the Lincolns you mentioned. Yeah. So a very delayed, like, big team fight item progression. But this does give him the defensive capability, so Old Chicken looking to stay alive. Also worth mentioning, Vici Gaming have grabbed double Manta. They have a BKB and a Solar Crest, so they negate a lot of the Slardar's impact in these team fights through those ways to remove the amp damage, as well as the Dazzle ultimate to help further reduce what Ehome can push out. Ehome moving in, down towards the river. They're going to grab an illusion, and cautiously, they slip up the cliff. They'll do a bit of dewarding here, FY. Eyeing them out. Not particularly pleased, and then the old zoo. Slice's personal exhibit. Starts marching down into the Radiant jungle. He's let them out of the pens. Have a little scout. CTY will crush them in and get the hell back. He does not want to fight the Necrobooks. They will be wearing off. But just stalling and waiting. And now Roshan's back up. Vision there for the Radiant. I believe the Dire have also seen it.
Neither team really able to go in there without putting themselves in a really bad spot to get jumped, but the key timing's going to come in 1 minute. Both teams will have another smoke in about 1 minute's time, and that's where we could see those used to try and get a good initiation. If you're the Radiant side, you want to try flank around, catch Vici Gaming from behind, and similar with Vici Gaming as well. Problem is right now, Ehome, somebody's going to get back to defend this mid lane, and they want to stay near the Roshan pit as much as possible with the other 4 heroes.
They're going to see C2I mid. They may make the move, but at the same time, Burning. He's pushing top, so.
And Burning knows by pushing top, he's going to force not only a rotation back mid, but someone's going to have to defend and push out the top lane, or at least let the tier 2 tower take some damage. Even possibility for it to go down if Burning really wants to press forward and force TP rotations.
There was a ping from Lanham, but you don't want to use the Ice Blast to depush. Then you don't have it for the potential Roche fight, so.
The important thing for Ehome's lineup is they have got the ability to cancel the Blade Fury TP. It means Burning can't just mindlessly split push the top tier 2 and expect to be able to Blade Fury TP out. You've got both Hookshot and even the less reliable Slider Bash. But he's going to be much more cautious while split pushing as a result.
And he gets a blink. So this is going to give him that extra bit of mobility. Can help you chase down a fleeing Queen of Pain, or potentially even...
It's a great split push
item.
Yeah. Yeah, because now he actually can split push it. If he sees the Clockwork coming in, he can blink away. And if Clockwork initiates with a hook, then you can Blade Fury TP. Because of how unreliable Slider getting a bash is. I guess if Slider's there, it's still a pretty risky play to go for, but it negates the overall risk of dying while split pushing by a fairly significant amount by having this blink dagger.
And then of course you come to the team fights where if he's lucky, he may be able to just assassinate Lanham off the bat. Yep. Or potentially even just zone CTY out. Sure, he's got the Hyperstone, but until the AC is complete, his armor is not all that high.
You can follow him after a blink, and while his blink's on cooldown, he'd make a nice little Omni-slash target.
Smoke is made. Ehome heading to the north.
Vici, their smoke came at the exact same time, and
we're gonna have a good old rumble. High ground positioning, not going to Vici because they swerve down the cliff. Oh dear.
2 ships passing the night.
Very anticlimactic.
That looked... It was just such a funny timing because both of their smokes came up at the exact same time.
And they both used them at the exact same time.
Now we have this awkward, we've traded sides on the map.
Let's meet mid.
Oh, they do though.
He's scouted though, and FY's gonna get the jump on the Doom off the bat. The Requiem removing the Slaughter from the fight. Doesn't have the buyback available. Now Burning will initiate, popping the Blade there. He's got Omni-Slash available. No, Clockwork trying to hook himself away to Frida. Actually, was a 4-step Burning though. Gonna cut him down with the Omni-Slash. Looks like an elsewhere. Super will explode to it. Yeah, the Ice Blast Queen of Pain combo. They do lose Ice to the trade and Burning. Well, he kills the Clockwork, but with the Omni-Slash down, doesn't offer a whole hell of a lot to the team from here. FY TPing home. Vici Gaming, they got the jump, they killed the Slardar, and they lose the fight.
Yeah, they slightly overcommitted. SF wanted to Requiem because he knows when Slardar pops there out of smoke, he's like, okay, Slardar's not alone. There is no way he just popped out of the dire jungle when he was just up there by himself. He knew that Ehome had 5 heroes or 4 heroes ready to back up the Slardar, so he wanted to Requiem to prevent a counter initiation. No one wants to go near the Slardar to save him, so he throws a Requiem, but as a result, those other 4 heroes took no damage because they just ditched the Slardar, said, alright, CTY, he's dead, that's fine. We're going to win this team fight based on just our spells. The Supernova, the Ice Blast, both on point. Clockwork just distracted the Juggernaut, and that meant the other 3 heroes were just fighting into a lineup that didn't have their Jug. and just couldn't fight and bring down the egg. If they bring down that supernova, would have been a good result for Vici Gaming, but again, Kaka, for the second time in this game, on point. Still, neither team got a Roche off of that.
That was also what happens when they don't doom the Phoenix. I feel like that's the other big thing.
Yeah,
Phoenix gets up the supernova, makes things a lot trickier.
The Raw on the Slider would have been probably the better way to start that fight. If they Raw Slider and hold onto the Doom, things would have gone a lot better. I think they're, in their mind, they're like, well, Doom's in better position. He'll get the Doom, and you can save the Raw for Phoenix or whoever's going to be the next problem hero. I'm not sure if the Lincoln's block may be a key spell. Maybe that was something that caught him by surprise, but it's much safer to save the Doom for the Phoenix and just use the Raw for that initial pickoff. Slider not tanky enough to survive the Raw plus physical damage plus Requiem damage coming out from the Shadow Fiend if they'd use that instead.
A lot of armor items being built up here by Ehome Gods. They've already got one Shiva's. Looks like Clockwork, maybe a Lotus Sword, potentially a second Shiva's. We'll see there. And an AC, a Medallion. They've got Tranquil Boots. This team is really itemizing to mitigate physical damage as the game moves along.
Or top lane.
Yeah, down goes Moltres. He's been a noble and faithful bird, but he can't fight through that one.
I mean, this game for him has just been either like amazing or like kind of lackluster. Like he gets picked off in kind of poor positions like that. There's been a few times where he's just kind of being caught out in terrible positions, but then he's made some incredible ultis in team fights that have single-handedly kind of won his team these massive, important team fights at crucial stages of the game. So Kaka needs more of the good, less of the bad, and now Ehome will not really be hurt too much by that pickoff.
I thought it was the other way. Don't you want more of the bad, less of the good?
Well, if you're Vici Gaming.
Ah, you've caught me.
You're Vici Gaming fanboy, is that it, LD? I have killed
Guilty
you.
as charged. I mean, who can't? Who isn't going to swoon over FY? Let's be serious here. AC now picked up on your Slardar, so CTY does get a big combat item, but you know, the interesting thing with Slardar in this draft, Gods, is we almost always see him with another heavy physical damage dealer, normally a ranged hero. Templar Assassin, Shadow Fiend, Wind Ranger, probably the big three. Doesn't really have that. The Queen of Pain of Old Chicken, we've seen some co-ops itemized for a lot of right-click, but he's gone defensive, and it looks like now he's quite possibly going Hex, so
Yes.
I mean, how much does that worry you if you're Ehome, that you have this big beefy Slardar, but nothing to really take advantage of the amp
I think
damage?
Quap still is right-clicking very hard with amp damage, the AC aura. This Quap hits hard enough just by going for int items. We're still looking at 200 base damage. The Hex, then you're looking at maybe even like 250 damage. So that's all going to be boosted up by the amp damage, the AC, and I think it's enough that the Queen of Pain can provide that you're not too worried.
Well, they find CTY off farming in the enemy woods. This could be very bad. They get off the road. The Ice Spike's going to come through. That's the Aegis. Dead quickly. So they fight through round two. From the rear comes Old Chicken. He's prepping for the ultimate. Slardar blinks out. He pops the BKB. The Quappo connects the floor. Well placed by Old Chicken. Then the hook on his super holding in position. BKB now deployed. He's going to go for the Requiem, but everyone from Ehome scatters. The Omni Burning finds one, but the second manages to hop away in the nick of time up on the high ground. CTY waiting to reinitiate. They want to go back in here. Burning. Continue to find his opening. Maybe CTY gets caught by the Doom. They had the vision, I believe, was from the Hawk, but in comes the egg. He got off the fire spirit, but not on everyone at Burning. Will chop him down. The egg is defeated. Looks like the Slardar got denied, so something for Kaka, but not sure it's worth it in the end.
Yep. And that's where Vici Gaming, starting the fight with the Raw works so much better. They can keep the Doom to deal with the pesky counter initiators, or in this case, the Slardar's second life. They just use their spells a lot more efficiently this time around against Ehome, and by the time the egg came in, Ehome were already down a Slardar. The Queen of Pain had already used Sonic Wave, was already too low on HP, and Vici Gaming find themselves in a fantastic position as a result. Looking to force out buybacks, or better yet, take a lane of Rax.
Burning. Just no giving up here. He's just going to keep on slapping the Rex until the creeps arrive. Help me out, friends, he says. And they will get the first lane of Rex. Now looking for more. Jumps in, decapitates 11 under the shadow of his tier 4. Burning. Just heating up in the midst of this all. And now moving towards the top lane. Looking for their second lane. Rex Gods. No buyback aside from Quap. Can they even hold? Is this GG? Vici Gaming, 2 lanes. Do they even stop them? All their ultimates about to cool down, 20 seconds or so. Almost feels like they can keep on going. An array of illusions just hacking away. And Vici, one good fight. Bang! The Rex are gone, 2 lanes down, and Ehome are on the brink of dropping this game number 1.
I don't think it's time to GG out yet, but this game has suddenly gone from like a 40-60 game to like a 1% chance for Ehome. Down 4 lanes of racks against a team with a better late game, dire side advantage for the Roche pit, and that next Aegis cheese could just be the end of Ehome. Vici Gaming may not even wait for that. With the 2 lanes of racks they just took, they'll take a massive gold lead. They'll pick up some big key late game items. Super gets a Butterfly and Shadow Fiend. We'll see more. That racks money is just going to fuel the Vici Gaming economy to the point where they can at least take this bottom tier 2 tower, I imagine, and maybe even go for high ground before Roshan if they feel like they need to end things now, which I don't really think is necessary.
Oh, Ice. He's been the hero with the vision from the Hawk, and again, it's going to initiate into another kill. They find the Firebird, and they start on. Oh, Chivas did not actually connect there, but elsewhere, there was a roar. Zombie Slash goes on the DTY, forces him out of the fight. He's barely going to survive against Brody. Meanwhile, also getting pushed back is 11. Ice executes him. Now they hunt onto Old Chicken. He's also retreating. CTY, he turns, he fights, he dies. No chance against the spinning blades of doom. Losing more, hero after hero getting pummeled. They will even bring down the egg. FY, one last slash. And then they devour Lanham. A full-on team fight against Kaka, denying a teammate, but not enough. And this crowd shows their appreciation for Vici Gaming. A dominant showing here, gods. It looked, by some accounts, a little greedy, but man, that Jungle Doom ended up paying off big time.
Pick greedy, play aggressive. Doesn't necessarily make sense, but Vici Gaming make it work here in the opening game. Ehome pulled it back. They had some amazing team fights around that Phoenix Supernova, but Vici Gaming in the clutch just had better catch potential using the Beastmaster, the Doom, and they just took out too many of the Ehome heroes in those fights.
So game 1 now in the books, but this is a best of 3, so we'll hand it back to the analyst panel, let them break it down and see what the teams have in store for us. Not yet eliminated, but winner bracket action heating up. Cuddle Guy.